Hey everybody, Chad here. I haven't done a video in a while, and this video we're going to talk about one of the greatest secrets to law of attraction. There's a lot of little tiny secrets that we have to do, but this is the one that, in my opinion, it can be difficult. We're going to talk about abundance. We're going to talk about being abundant in any type of situation, and having the power of the mind to be abundant. So I'll give you some examples of what I'm talking about. But anyway, I was in Thailand for about 10 months. I came back to visit my family, my mom and my sister, brother-in-law, and stuff like that. So it's June right now, almost the end of June. But just hanging outside, drinking some coffee. I have some crazy hair going on. But anyway, what do I mean by being abundant at all times? One of the things that we have to get good at, okay, is no matter what we want, no matter what our goals are, no matter what our surroundings are, is feel abundant. Be abundant. Or you can say be positive, feel positive. You know what I mean? So let me give you some examples. What I mean is, let's say you want to double your income every month. Okay, let's say that's your goal. Let's say you're making 5,000. Let's say you want to make 10,000. Okay, but realistically, our mind is a realistic mind too, that you make 5. Okay, but your goal is to make 10. Okay, so all your surroundings is you making 5,000 a month. You go to work, you look at your paycheck, every week, every 2 weeks. Every confirmation there is that you make 5. Your friends might tell you you make 5. Okay, so your surroundings, all your surroundings are telling you, well, no, you make 5,000. You don't make 10,000. Okay, but feeling abundant, putting yourself, the power of the mind is abundance, is feeling abundance. No matter if you are surrounded by poverty, okay, your mind is abundant. Your mind is full of riches. That's the power of the mind. No matter your surroundings are that you only make 5,000, but in your mind, you already make your 10,000 a month. Okay, that's the power of the mind. The power of the mind isn't to manipulate other people. Okay, the power of the mind is, if you're surrounded by disease, your power of your mind is all you think about is health. That's the power of the mind. That's kind of where we want to kind of get with the law of attraction. No matter what our surroundings are, we're focused on what we want. We're focused on abundance. We're focused on an abundant life. Okay. Another example, I think, with most people, have, depending on how old you are, I think most people have, experience this in their life. I know I have. Think about it this way. Let's say maybe you got fired from your job, you got laid off, you quit or whatever, but you're looking for a new job, but you don't have a job. Okay, you're unemployed, but you're looking for a new job. Okay, let me ask you a question. Why is it, okay, why is it that when you don't have a job and you're looking for a job, you're going on 1 million interviews, and it always seems hard to get a new job when you don't have a job? But the kicker is, when you have a job, you get offers all the time. You get 1, 2, 3 offers come in, and sometimes you're hardly even looking. Okay, I mean, have you ever experienced that? I think that's the greatest example of what we're talking about here, about abundance. No matter what you're experiencing in your environment, you're staying focused on abundance. You're staying focused on your goal. Why is that? Sometimes I think about that even for myself. Like if I don't have clients or I'm unemployed, I'm looking, and why is it always harder when somebody is unemployed to get a job than it is when they already have a job and they look for a new job? Why is it always harder? Okay, what's going on? And really what's happening here is, you have to think about it this way. When you're unemployed, you're looking for a job, you're interviewing a job, you're putting yourself you're not putting yourself in an environment of abundance. You're constantly thinking that you need. You get worried. It makes sense. You start getting doubtful. You start worrying about your finances, worrying about your money. You don't know how you're going to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like you're in that state, okay? So in essence, what's happening is you're kind of not saying you're in poverty, but just for example purposes, you're in an environment of need. You're in an environment of poverty. You're in an environment of you need more money. You need a job, okay? That's your surroundings, okay? But you're letting that, okay, control your mind. You're letting that control your thinking. Rather than, see, the tough thing is putting yourself in an abundant. Your goal is you want a job, okay? That's your main goal. But you have to act as if you already have that job. You have to act as if you already have what you want. Okay, see, that's the hardest thing to do when you need, like, that, I mean, it's some of this stuff is not easy, like when you actually are, going through it yourself. Okay, I mean, sometimes a lot of people talk about law of attraction, a lot of people talk about this, they talk about it like it's so easy to do, but when you actually have personal experience with it, or you're actually going through a funk, I mean, it can be difficult because it can just be difficult. You know what I mean? But I mean, in one way, they are correct. You have to put yourself in that state of abundance. You have to put yourself in that state of acting as if acting that you already have it and it doesn't affect you. Acting, even though if your finances are in turmoil, you don't focus on it. You don't think about it. You don't give it 1 ounce of energy. Okay, you pay your bills and that's it. Okay, you already act like you have that job, the best job that you want. You already act that you let it go. You don't even worry. Okay, and that's how we have to be in every situation. Okay, if it's a perfect world, we're not going to be that way in every situation because we're human, but that's the way it has to be. That's why when I already have a job, or you already have a job, you get offers all the time. They seem to come so easy. When I have a job, I'm sitting there content. All of a sudden I get 1, 2, 3 other offers that sometimes pay me twice as much, or pay me a quarter more of what I'm making, or whatnot. That makes you start scratching your head, like, dude, when I don't have anything, when I am looking, it seems so difficult to come, but then when I already have, it just comes so easily. So really what's happening when you already have a job, and maybe you're not looking, maybe you're looking a little bit, maybe, to put your feet out there, maybe you just interview. I know a lot of friends of mine, and they just interview just to interview. They just interview to kind of, stay fresh at interviewing, even though they already have a job. A couple things that happens when you already have a job in this example is, you really don't care. I mean, you go on an interview, whatever, you already have a job, you already have money coming in, so you don't really care. You let it go. Makes sense. That's not all you're thinking about. Oh my goodness, oh my God, they're gonna hire me. Am I going to your second interview, third interview? How much am I, you're not thinking that way. You just let it go. It doesn't bother you, it doesn't affect you. You're already in a state of abundance. In this example, you're already in a state of abundance because you already have it. You already have a job. Maybe you would like another job, or maybe you make more money, but the essence of it, you already have a job. Your bills are paid. You're not worried about finances. You're not worried about any of that stuff. So that's why you end up attracting another job very easily in this example, rather than when you're already unemployed. It's hard to attract a job because that's all you're thinking about. You're worried, you're not letting it go. You're worried about your finances and stuff like that. You're worried deep down. You're not in that state of you don't need. You're not in that state of letting it go. You're not in that state of, I'm not worried about my finances. Everything will be fine. And this is one of the great secrets of, why law of attraction don't work. If we go down that rabbit hole, is, it's about mind control. It's about controlling your own mind, controlling your own thoughts. Okay, what are we thinking about? We're thinking all day long, but what are we thinking about? We're constantly running through our mind. Is it negative? I mean, it's so easy to think negative. I mean, that's why this takes work. It's so easy to, when you look at a situation, you automatically think negative. When you look at your situation, it's automatically think, oh, I can't have what I want. It's so easy to do that stuff. That's why this kind of stuff takes work. That's why when you deal with law of attraction, I always say, even for myself, and I'll do another video on this, even for myself, you have to stay with personal development. You have to have some type of daily routine, maybe readings you do, recordings you listen to kind of help your mind stay positive, help you stay on track. But it's so easy, listen to this, and I fall in a trap of this all the time. It's so easy to fall back into a negative pattern, and it's so easy to fall back to the old you. Make sense? And it's so easy to do that because, if you're 30, 35 years old, you got to think about it this way. If you're 30 years old, you have 30-year-old habits. You have 30-year-old bad habits. If you're 20 years old, you have 20-year-old bad habits that you've been doing since you've been 5 years old. You know what I mean? So it takes a while to break those habits. And sometimes it's almost like if you ever smoked and you quit smoking. Okay, when I talk to smokers, I don't smoke, but I talk to smokers that quit, if they're honest with me, they always tell me, oh, the need is always there, Chad. The fight is always there. It's always a daily decision not to go back. And that's the same thing with personal development, the same thing with law of attraction, the same thing we're dealing with here. It needs to be a daily habit that you do, a daily routine that you do to stay on track and get better at this. Other than that, my friends, just want to share that with you. Been kind of quiet for the last few months, 6 months or something like that, because I was in Thailand for like 10 months, and then I'm going to go back, but just wanted to come visit family and stuff like that, see what they're doing. And the best time to come, back to the States is during prime summer, June, July, August, September, stuff like that. But anyway, take care. Hopefully that helps, and I will see you at the top.